So let's make a set of hands for this fella. Shift A, and we will go ahead and add a cube. I think for the moment I'm going to hide our character. In the cube, I'm going to zoom in on a bit. Let's scale him a little bit on Y. Let's scale him a bit on X. Do something like that. Now, let's go ahead and actually, let's scale it down on Z as well. And then I'm going to tab into edit mode and select the top face, and I'm going to push E to extrude. All right, so I'm going to do a loop cut. I'll do 2. And positioning, I'll just leave it kind of how it is. All right, next thing I think I'm going to do is start playing around with the contour a little bit. So I'm going to go into X-ray mode, and I'm going to select vertex mode, and I'm just going to start grabbing. I better turn off my proportional editing. So I'm going to grab these and just move them around a little bit. Grab these, move them in a bit. Same thing here. Let's grab this. Maybe grab this and move it up just a bit. I'm going to scale that a little bit smaller yet on Y. Get back to our front view. And then let's go ahead to face select mode. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extrude to make the beginning of a finger. And then we'll rotate this a bit. And maybe grab it and move it over just a bit. Let's scale this down in general. Grab it and move it a bit. And then let's scale it down a little bit more yet on Y. Grab that and move it. All right. Do the same thing here. Extrude. Actually, let's grab that and move it up a little bit more yet. Scale it down a bit. Get a side view. Scale it a bit more on Y. Grab it. Move it over. And I think we know where we're going with this. Extrude. We'll rotate it. Scale it down just a bit. Grab it and move it over. Scale a bit on Y. And grab it and move it over a bit. All right, next, let's do the same thing. We're going to do an extrude, but just a little bit, and we'll scale this back up, mimicking a knuckle. Same thing here. Extrude this a bit, scale it up just a bit. Okay, maybe X-ray mode is interfering with me a bit, so I'll turn that off. Let's extrude again. Scale that down a bit. Extrude, scale it down a bit. Extrude, scale it down a bit. And then, since my guy's a little cartoony or something anyway, I'm not going to do the full set of digits. I think we'll just do something like that. So now let's take a look at the thumb. I think what I'll do here is I will select these two edges and I will subdivide them. I will go ahead and I'm going to grab the new edge that was created. We'll do something like that. I'm going to grab this face, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude that out. And then let's rotate it. And then I'm going to grab this face and extrude that. Scale it down a bit. Let's grab it just a bit. We'll extrude that. Scale that up to create sort of a knuckle. And extrude again. And scale that back down a bit. Let's see if we can do a little bit more with this. First of all, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a loop cut on the side. So let's do a Control R and add a loop cut that way. I'm inclined to add a couple more, a little bit more yet. So maybe I'll do one here. Maybe what I can do here is subdivide these, grab the new vertices, and join them. And I will also join these vertices and these vertices. So I think I'm going to push A to select all, and I'm going to try using the smooth tool. And let's just see what we can do with that. Yeah, sort of a cartoony, silly mitten hand going on. I think that kind of works though. And then what I want to do is maybe add a little bit of a curve to things. So one more loop cut just to have sort of a center vertex. I'm going to grab that vertex and I'm going to turn on proportional editing, and I'm going to go ahead and G on Y and just kind of create a little bit of a inner contour inside of the hand. And then I think similarly, I'm going to go ahead and pop back into X-ray mode, and I'm going to grab the tops of the fingertips, and I'm going to grab those on Y as well. And this time those I'm going to move out this way ever so slightly. Nothing too fancy, but let's show our character back up, and let's grab the hand, move it roughly into position, rotate it, scale it down. Now those things aren't quite matching up, so let's grab them and slide them into place a little bit more. Let's take a look at his wrist. And then from the top view, we'll scale the wrist down a bit. So scale, let's make the proportional editing bigger, and I want to make sure that I'm scaling just on Y. Let's grab the hand and scale that up on Y. And grab and position it a little bit more. And that matches up a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and smooth the hand out. Everything's very inconsistent. We'll deal with that in a while. But now I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and join these with a modifier. So I'm going to go ahead and generate a Boolean. I will use cube001. Make sure that the Boolean is set to union. Move the Boolean to the top above the mirror modifier. And then we'll go ahead and apply. Now our crazy little octopus head guy has hands.